But yes, indeedy, yes, indeedy. But to be honest, while I was gone, I was thinking about my little garden. I said, ooh, I got to get back to the garden. But you got to break away sometime and take a break sometime. I don't take many breaks, many vacations from nothing. I don't really be running and ripping and running, going nowhere. I don't know. I like my house. Ain't nothing like your home being peaceful and where you feel comfortable. If you be at home and you don't feel comfortable at home, I almost want to tell you, you may want to reevaluate some things. You might want to reevaluate some things. Because the minute I'm in my home and I do not feel comfortable, that's a sign. That is a sign. So, I'm dropping stuff. But thankfully these sugar snap pea seeds, and these are sugar snap peas seeds that I saved myself, y'all, from my own. Remember those plants I had that I let grow all the way until it got so hot that they died? These are seeds from those. Y'all, I'm gonna run and grab some soil. I got some soil over there. I know for a fact. I'm gonna run and grab that, and I'm gonna come right back, and I'm gonna do a few more of these. I don't know how many minutes I am on this video. I'm gonna try not to make it too long. Yeah, I'm gonna grab some. I'm gonna do a couple of more. All right, y'all. Remember those mulberries that I started, honey, and they didn't do how they should have done? Well, first of all, I got my money back. First, I got my money back. And then, ooh, spider. Ooh. You know, y'all be careful when y'all be fooling with these pots within a pot, because sometimes it do be spiders. Sometimes it do be spiders down in this stuff. So y'all be careful when you fooling around with some of this stuff. This here didn't make it. Ooh, that was so dry. Good Lord. But yeah, this soil that I had those mulberry cuttings, I am reclaim. All right, now try to plant this down in here, plant this tomato. It's a little volunteer tomato that came up. And see him now? Excuse me. Got you. These mosquitoes think I'm to be played with some kind of, I don't know why they think that, but I'm really not to be trifled with. I'm really not to be trifled with. I'm gonna have to come back and water those, because that stuff over there is so damn dry. I mean, like a powder factory. And then I had strawberries and stuff that didn't do well in this potting soil and stuff. So, and those are good pots, so I'm definitely not gonna throw the pots away. I'm not in love with potting soil. Sometimes it can hold too much moisture. But I like the, like for instance, I think potting soil is good when you mix it with native soils. Like, I'm gonna be honest, some of this is my own compost and native soil and worm casting. To me, when you mix potting soil with that stuff, because sometimes your own compost or worm casting can be, it won't hold enough moisture sometimes. So to me, when you mix that potting soil with that, you get the best of both worlds when it comes to that. Also, adding your charcoal helps. You know, I'm not even gonna get on me, my nostrils, and everything else. I may just edit that stuff out. Don't turn over, don't turn over. So I got to make some more holes. So story time right quick. Y'all know the new-ish neighbors across the street. The ones I was telling y'all, the Trailer Park Trail. And don't get mad when I say that. When I say Trailer Park Trail, don't get mad. Do not get mad. First of all, black folk did not create that term. White folks did. So, if you don't like it, get rid of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, to be fair, white folks created the N-word too. So, you know, but they don't want to own that one. Let's go on. The heifer came over here and told me, indeed. One day she just, I don't know, I guess she wanted to make friends. She come over here and start talking. You know, I didn't ask her nothing. I'm watering my yard, minding my business. Watering my garden, mind my business. And she come over and start talking. Oh, okay, you had the hole already in, I think. Yeah. She come over here and start talking. And let me say this, I'm not gonna say exactly what she said, because what she was saying was quite graphic. But not only was it graphic, it was erroneous. Because the graphic nature don't bother me. It's when you sitting up lying. First, she came over here and decided she wants to denigrate school teachers. Now, let me say this. Anybody who knows me knows that I would tell you that the public school system is, in my opinion, a dilapidated system that is falling in on itself. It's just like a building that is condemned and caving in. But it's not the fault of the teachers primarily. That's not where that falls. School and what's taught in school is controlled by the state, and the state is controlled by the governor. The fish rots from the head. And I'm saying that to say, if we want our public school system to be better, starting at the state level from the governor all the way down to your local municipality, that's where you're going to have to make adjustments. You see what I'm saying? That's where you have to make adjustments. So when people say something about voting, you vote for people on the school board. The superintendent, they don't just hire them out of the blue. You vote for them. You see what I'm saying? Your school board member, you vote for them. Those are your policy makers within the school. So when you have people talking about banning books, and it's funny, the only books they banning are books by black authors, primarily. You see what I'm saying? When you talk about what can and can't be taught in schools, that's not up to the teachers. That falls on the school board and goes all the way up to the state. Like these textbooks, I'm from the state of Texas, and people want to talk about good Texas education. Texas education, all right. Is it better than others? Yes, because I ain't gonna lie, I've met people from a lot of different states, and I noticed that their education levels, and I can tell it's because you didn't even have the foundation. Was I taught a good foundation? Well, first of all, I was taught a good foundation at the house. My mama was teaching me how to read at the house before I even went to school. That's number one. So if you're not even doing that at the house, do not ask anybody outside of your home to teach your children anything that you're not willing to teach them inside your home. That's first of all. Second of all, if you are not voting or you're not motivated to vote, especially locally, and let me go all the way further. Keep on not talking about keep on talking about what the president do or don't do when it's a certain candidate say he want to get rid of the Department of Education. Understand what that means. I want you to go deeper. Part of the problems that we have in society now is the dumbing down of schools. When they stopped teaching certain things like civics, when they stopped teaching or constantly taking liberal arts out of the schools, constantly taking factual history out of the schools and teaching this revisionist history that a lot of it is just flat out lies. When they got a textbook out here, and I read it for my own eyes. This is not something where I got it off social media. If you're getting your shit off social media and you're not reading it yourself, sit your ass down. Project 2025 is 900 and some pages, which I have read 400 pages of them. And yes, they are talking about getting rid of the Department of Education. Realize that hurts not only black children, minority children, it also hurts the white children, because these maggots that are extremists, they're some of the dumbest people I've run into in my entire life. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me say this also as well. Uneducated people, these algorithms, they target you for misinformation. I'm going to say that again in case you didn't hear me. People wonder why I don't really fool with social media like that. Number one, they target black women because we are the largest voting bloc. They target us with misinformation to see how smart or how stupid some of you are. Then they turn around and target the uneducated because they know that they'll fall for the foolishness. So when they say they're going to take the Department of Education, yeah, they're going to take the Department of Education. That means it's solely upon your state what they will or will not teach. There are no federal guidelines at all. That's a danger. Because that means in states like Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas with Sarah Huckabee's sorry ass. Anyway, we're not going to get on that because I can't stand that heifer. Didn't like her daddy either. Then run, go tell that. That means the state, because there's a textbook they're proposing. I don't know if it's in Arkansas or Alabama. I can't remember which one. It's one of them A states. They're proposing a textbook that basically says that the South did not lose the Civil War. They're not going to say that they won, but they're going to say that they did not lose. What? What do you mean they didn't lose? There's also a textbook that's teaching that the Civil War really wasn't about slavery. Like, almost saying that it absolutely had nothing to do with slavery. And I get it, because when I was growing up, they said it had to do with states' rights. Technically, it did. But it was the state's right to own slaves. See, they don't tell you which state right it was. Pay attention. Pay attention. I got put out of history class every day in junior high. Every day. My mama said, look, I know they teaching you some, don't raise your hand no more because I'm tired of them calling me on my job. She told me, she said, you're not wrong, but them white folks don't get it. You get what I'm saying? So, that being said, you have to be careful when people come across your street, because she come across the street telling me about how the teachers suck and the teachers union this and blah, 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 this and that and the other. And when I started telling, and the stuff she was saying that they teach in school, I immediately said, you must watch Fox News. She couldn't even say anything. I said, because every talking point she gave was a Fox News talking point. I told her it was clear to me, because I'm just going to hint. Like I said, I'm not going to, because she was so graphic with it, and I don't even want to put that on my channel. Because I don't even like saying those things because they're so derogatory. Look, you can have your views of what you feel about the LGBTQ community. You can have your views. I don't care. They're your views. But let me say this. I have a gay uncle. He did better by me than my own daddy did. So what you're not going to do is talk too much shit about these gay folks. Not too much. Not around me, you know. You get what I'm saying? These things where you make out lies like all gay people is pedophiles. No, first of all, you clearly don't understand what it means to be gay. That doesn't mean you're a pedophile. It doesn't mean that. A pedophile is a pedophile. And some pedophiles are gay and some of them are straight. Some of them are bisexual. It depends. But gay, straight, bisexual ain't got nothing to do with pedophilia. It's two different things. That's just like being a serial killer. There are straight serial killers, there are gay serial killers, there are bisexual serial killers. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do, killing has nothing to do with your sexuality. There's a line. And I don't understand how people don't see. And she's sitting up saying, like I said, I don't even want. Long story short, the heifer gonna come over here and get to telling me how they teaching them to be gay. They teaching them. Let me explain this to you. And this is what I told her. If you've never had a real honest conversation with a gay person before, go have one. You can't teach a person to be gay. And if you don't understand that, or you don't get that because you're straight, ask yourself this question. When did you decide to be straight? I'll wait because I'm straight. When did you decide? Because I didn't decide. I didn't decide. You get my point? So trust and believe me, they didn't pick to be gay. When you have people who are out here killing themselves because they can't, because they feel something's wrong with them. When they're out here, and some of them ain't a lot, and there are a lot more of them doing this. There are certain ones that commit suicide, but there are a lot more of them who are out here hurting other people. And what I mean is this: hurt people hurt people. So, for instance, my neighbor across the street, Willie, he been in my videos a few times. He gave us a $2 bill. Willie is old enough to be my daddy. So Willie grew up in a generation where, he grew up in a time where you treat gay people like trash or whatever. Now, my mother told me unequivocally, if I ever catch you out here treating anybody bad and they haven't done anything to you, your ass is grass. So I was raised, you treat people according to how they treat you. Willie's never done a damn thing to me. When I moved into this neighborhood, he was the first person to welcome me to the neighborhood. I knew he was gay the day I met him. Now, he tried to play games at first, but after a while, he was, you know, he went on and admitted he was gay. But he struggles because nobody in his family treats him equally because he's gay. That's not fair. And it's not right. That's your family. He ain't done nothing to them. He give them money. The same people who dog him, he give them money. And help them when they can't pay their bills. Things of that nature. But they still treat him less than. That is out of order. I think it's a special place in hell for people like that. For you to denigrate somebody who helped you. You get what I'm saying? That dude struggled to this day, and I'm gonna be honest, he'll tell you, because it ain't like I'm telling his business. He'll tell you he's an alcoholic. And me and him sat down and talked about it one day, and long story short, what it boils down to is he's an alcoholic because the people who are supposed to love him, his family, don't love him. Or at least, let me put it to you like this. You ever been in a situation where somebody said they love you, but you know it's not love? And because of the way they treat you, people will say, oh, I love you. Yeah, but you treat me kind of like shit a little bit. That's not love. You see what I'm saying? Like, love ain't, I talk to you crazy. You know, that's not what love is. Or I grin in your face and behind your back I talk shit about you. That's not love either. Like all this little slick shit that people do. And he's told me, he said, you know what, you're the only person who you've never treated. And I told him, I said, I would never treat you any differently. I don't care who you sleep with because I'm not trying to sleep with you. And he laughed so hard at that. And I was being real. I'm not trying to sleep with you. And even if I was, if you tell me you ain't into it, okay. No hard feelings. I've always been like that. Like it's not a big thing to me. But once again, see, I grew up with a mother who had gay friends, and they were very open and honest with it. Damn, that acorn fall. But and I'm saying all that to say, when these people get on these tirades, you know, and then they try to use the Bible, and let me be very clear with you, when they talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, I want y'all to pay attention. The dude in Sodom and Gomorrah who said, okay, well, where are the men at? Basically, he wanted to sodomize the men. He asked for the women first, and the women didn't want to fool with him. And then when they didn't, he asked for the men. Understand, that story was not about homosexuality. The story was about consent. He wanted to rape people. He didn't care who it was. And rape is also it's not about sex either. It's about the power and the domination of someone. You see what I'm saying? They're dominating them through. So be careful with sex. Be careful, because some people is not having sex with you out of pleasure. Some people is having sex with you for some other devious means. And in the case of a rapist, because guess what? A lot of times rapists, they get no pleasure out of regular sex. They only get pleasure out of sex if it is forcing someone who doesn't, and understand that that's a psychosis. You see what I'm saying? So when people get to talking about all this different stuff about the Bible, say this is the Bible, blah, 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 a lot of that ain't even about sexuality. It's about consent, and people are interpreting and inserting things in where you want to insert something. So be very careful with this stuff. Now, am I saying what's right, wrong, this, that? Guess what? I'm not God. I don't judge nobody. I leave that up to God. See, some people be doing too much. Some people, you out of your place. You're way outside of your place and your realm. Understand where you are to be. You are but a mere mortal. You don't have authority over anybody. Govern yourself, because the people that be trying to govern other people, I find it funny. They're never really ever governing themselves. That's what I find to be hilarious. All these people, you can't govern yourself, you can't control yourself, but you want to control others. But back to the white woman. Like I said, all of these things were brought up, and I explained all of this to her. And as I said, she stands there slack-jawed, because I think she comes across the street and says, oh, I see this black woman. I've seen in the media that black women are probably stupid, because that's what Fox News tells them. But she found out today, this is a woman who desperately needs health care. Most of her teeth are rotting out of her head. She needs universal health care more than anybody else, but comes and tells me how she's such a Republican. And when I said, well, ma'am, you realize if we had some universal health care, you could get you some dental care, and it would be no cost to you. I said, some of the greatest nations economically, they have health care. The Netherlands. I want to say France. I think Germany. I could go on and on. These European nations who have universal health care, or these Asian nations where they don't just do retroactive. A lot of times, if you just want to come in for something preventative, they don't stop you. How many times I've been to the doctor before? Cancer runs in my family. So I told my doctor, I said, I want to give me some mammograms. I want to start at 30. I don't want to start at 40. You know what the doctor told me? Well, we used to do that at 40. Why don't you just wait till 40? It's because you'd rather for me to have cancer, or rather for me to catch it when it's too late. I quickly got me another physician. I'm not playing with you. You're going to do my mammograms when I tell you to do them. I'm paying the copay. I'm paying for it. You get what I'm saying? You're not going to tell me that, no, we don't know. If I could want it, I do my self-checks, but I want you to hook me up to this damn machine. Whatever you got to do to me, look in here and see, do you see anything crazy? I don't play games with my health when cancer runs in my family. I've had aunts with breast cancer. I've had uncles with colon cancer. You think I'm finna wait around? I be getting colonoscopies too. You gonna look up in here and tell me, do you see any polyps? And if you do, they're gonna be removed. I ain't got time. You see what I'm saying? And they want to tell you, well, nah, we usually don't do that till 40, 50, 60. No, you finna start now. I'm 35. You finna start that now. So I'm telling this woman this, and she ain't bit more thought about this. I said, we have a red governor. The reason why your teeth are rotting out of your head, ma'am, is because we don't have universal health care. Because the lady's disabled. She can't really get a job like that. Now, she may have been able-bodied before, because Like I told y'all before, not trying to be funny. These white people that don't have anything, I really don't have any sympathy for them, because you never had anything holding you back. My family had redlining. I had grandparents go fight in the Korean War. Great uncles go fight in the Vietnam War. All these things, they come back. All these white men, they qualify for loans for houses, money to go to school, the GI Bill. They qualifying for all of this stuff. My people didn't qualify for it. So they had to scrape and scrimp and scrap. My grandfather that fought in the Korean War died in a psych hospital because he was, as they say, shell-shocked. He never really was right after that war. He worked long as he could until he just could not work no more, because PTSD, as we know it now, what they used to call shell shock, he just could not. The flashbacks were too much. It was just too much for him. You see what I'm saying? But you have white men out here. They come back. I can get a home loan. I can do this. I can do that. That's building wealth. When I started breaking this stuff down to her, she started looking stupid. And I told her, right now, ma'am, you could go to the dentist and have you some teeth put in your head. And I'm not trying to clown the lady, but it's just, when do you figure out that these red governors that don't want to give you health care is against you? When do you figure that out? And then you want to talk about the schools, but let me get down to the nitty gritty for real, for real. Let me get down to the nitty gritty for real. The other night, I don't even want to say son-in-law, because her daughter ain't married to the dude. That's her daughter baby daddy. They still together. They live there, her daughter boyfriend, whatever. You won't even get married, but you say you're Republican, you're conservative, and all this. Won't you tell your children to get married? That's what they're supposed to do as conservatives and Republicans, right? We don't get into hypocrisy. He got arrested. Guess what? Homie be selling that dope. He a white boy now. Homie be selling that dope. Police chase you down the street. It's 6 police cars on my street. I went over my neighbor house, the 71-year-old who I be telling y'all about, and he had me laughing so hard. He said, you know, this used to be a quiet neighborhood till the white folks moved in. I couldn't do nothing but lay on his porch and scream, because the ones that live right next to him is meth heads. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, you done got arrested. She come tipping her ass over here the next day after he got arrested. Now, I'm trying to get ready for homecoming. I ain't got time for y'all shenanigans. I'm trying to go have a good time with my people. The ones who you say be getting checks and on it, and she getting a check. And when she admitted that she was getting a check, I said, well, you need to send your check back or give it to the black folks who you claim is getting the checks. But then right after she said something about black folks getting a check, I ain't never had no problem with no black folks. I looked at her crazy. I said, because ain't no real black folks ever talked to you before. That's why. I said, because a real black person would have told you where to put that bullshit, because you getting a check. And she admitted it, that I was the first person to really ever tell her, point out some things to her that she had noticed. Because $2 conversations, I'm going to say it again. Y'all stop having these $2 ass conversations. But anyway, he get arrested. She come tipping her ass over here the next day, asking me something. But then she brought up the grandbaby daddy, because that's her grandbaby. Anyway, I told her, I said, well, I said they was searching the car. That's how I knew it was for drugs, because the way they was searching the car, they got the drug dog and everything, and they got the sheriff involved, all that. They searching the car. When she come over here, come talk to me, I said, but they was searching the car like they were looking for drugs. I said, he sell drugs? She really couldn't say nothing. I said, I know he sell drugs. I said, I seen some people go over there that they look like dope heads. You know. I said, I thought you was a Republican and a conservative. I said, they don't believe in drugs. They say that the Democrats is the ones that's on checks and using their checks to get drugs and on stamps and all this. I said, y'all get all of that, correct? Y'all get stamps? Y'all get Section 8? I said, I don't qualify for Section 8. I don't qualify for stamps. I said, won't you bring me your stamp check? When you go cash, give me your stamp card. And when it's time for your Section 8, when they pay your Section 8, you give me that money to put on my mortgage. Since I'm the black woman, I'm the welfare queen. That's what Fox told you, right? I said, but you got that little girl. I said, now, you know, F y'all, y'all grown. I'm just going to tell you what I told. F y'all, y'all grown. Y'all do what you want. And lie and hypocrisy. But the little girl, I said she's 6. She growing up in a household with her daddy selling dope. She watched her daddy get locked up, get arrested, thrown to the ground. Because don't think they just throwing niggas to the ground. Excuse me. See, they gonna flag this. I ain't gonna get no monetization on this video. I don't care. They ain't just throwing us to the ground. They throwing them to the ground too. They throw us to the ground more. Don't trip. I already know that. I grew up watching the cops before these phones. I know what they do. Where they mace us and won't mace the white girls. But don't get me started. She watched that, and I don't think any child should watch that. That girl was crying because they was arresting her daddy. I said, but she growing up in a household like that. I said, that's okay. I said, you want to blame the Democrats for that too? She couldn't really say anything. See what I'm saying? I told her, you need to sweep around your porch before you sweep around somebody else's porch. She quickly gathered herself and took her ass back across the street. Because what you're not going to do is talk crazy. And you're raising your child in such a fashion to where it is deleterious to her upbringing. You tell me, what is that girl going to grow up thinking, seeing, and feeling is normal growing up in a household like that? In my opinion, she would be much better off with 2 gay white dudes. Because let me tell you something, they're probably going to get... And say what you want. Say what you want. These gay couples that's raising these children, a lot of these children, guess what? They be so emotionally stable. These people via these households that's supposedly supposed to be good. And they don't, they be a mess. I mean, just be honest. Look around. I look at so many people in households. Don't matter if they black, white, whatever. And their kids be so off kilter. And I'm not saying that every child that grow up with gay parents, but I'm just saying, pay attention. While you throwing one demographic up under the bus, look at your own demographic. Because I'm looking at black households, 2-parent households, single-parent households. I'm not saying that they all bad. I'm not saying that they all good. But I'm saying I see some trends. I see some trends. And unfortunately, and there are still good households. I see them like, you know, I look at Aisha and her children. Her children look so well-rounded. And I use her as an example because she show her children quite a bit. Her children look so well-rounded, and I can tell how intelligent they are and how vibrant of children that they are. And that gives me hope. And there's some other people out here too. But then I turn around and I just, you know, you look at certain children and you just say to yourself, you know, I feel bad for the child because the child didn't ask to be in that situation. And that's what I'm saying. That child over there didn't ask to be in that situation where her parents are and her mother's on drugs. Her mother's on drugs, the daddy's dealing drugs. It's like the worst shit. Like she growing up in a trap house, basically. And while her grandmother is throwing gay people up under the bus, I put money on if a gay couple got hold to that girl wouldn't want for nothing. Wouldn't want for nothing. Because let me say this. Out of all my uncles, the gay uncle, and he's married to a guy, have the most money. Live the best lifestyle. I'm talking about happy, just as happy. Okay. Keep playing games. Keep playing games and thinking stupid stuff. When let's be real, some people are not exposed to what they need to be exposed to. You see what I'm saying? So, that said, hopefully now that he's arrested, maybe they'll get themselves together and get the hell out of the neighborhood. I'm not interested in 6 to 7 cop cars on my street for over an hour. I'm not interested. I want them to go on. But I just thought I would tell y'all that. And take what you want from that conversation, but I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to keep potting this little stuff up, and I will keep y'all updated on what happens with all this. I'm sorry this video is probably long as hell, because it was at 20-something minutes when but anyway. But until next time, see you guys later.